Quick one, nothing here is financial advice. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research or speak to a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Enjoy the episode and like and subscribe.
Good to be back. We've got Suji Yan from Mask. He's founder, seems very conscious about what it is that he's doing. It's great to have you on, sir. Thank you for your time. I know that you're super busy. You've been in the trenches. You've been around for longer than most. You guys have built something quite interesting and quite fascinating. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I'd love to say hi to your audience. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I think from my side, I'm really interested today to obviously just kind of explore your journey and, how you started out. And if you could just give us, a brief introduction in terms of, how you got into the space and, how Mask came about, and then also what Mask is actually all about.
Yeah. So the original idea was date back to 2015, 2016. So I was a student at a state, U of Illinois. I was like 19 years old, and I care a lot about technology, especially open source, open internet, and I also care about journalism or media because I was an independent journalist. I wrote a lot of report for global, famous global medias. I care a lot about both, and I just feel like the social network that time, including right now, is not right. So I just think about what we can do to improve that or fix that. And I have been jump into crypto around that time when I was like 18, 19, and start to buy some Bitcoin, which I was lucky. That was a bear market, and suddenly we went into a bull market in 2017, right? And I was starting to pitch into my friends, start to talk to all the friends I believe also interested in this area. I was telling them, okay, decentralized technology already transmit money or already make money something very different than we can imagine. There's digital gold, there's digital payment system, decentralized payment system, and soon there will be a decentralized society. And if there's a decentralized society, there will be decentralized government. There will be people talking in a decentralized manner. That is something very fundamental for media, for journalism, for public opinion. That's why we need social networks and entertainment. That's why we're even going to have decentralized Hollywood. If there's no one building such company or such projects, we should do something ourselves. So I pitched my friends in 2016. In 2017, we officially formed an entity to just do whatever we feel very interesting. And it ends up we raise money and we raise more and more money and grow up to today what is called Mask Network. But it all started with my fundamental understanding and my firm belief of we will have a decentralized society. In this decentralized society, we can have an independent social network, independent entertainment network. But I think it's a very long journey ahead. But we are lucky to start quite early. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's obviously quite a lot to unpack in terms of, media, journalism, decentralization, and obviously the social network. So, I mean, that's pretty much what Mask is. I mean, is that an accurate assessment in terms of what Mask is as a network? Are you looking to decentralize journalism, social networks? How does it all kind of like, if you had to summarize what Mask Network is, what would that summary look like?
Yeah, I think the best way for people who don't understand crypto, the best terminology, the best one sentence will be we are the non-evil Facebook plus Tencent, and we are the decentralized one, independent from or the sovereign state. That's what we want to build, and I think we're still kind of far away from that perspective, but we did some achievement over the years. If we really dig into what's Facebook, what's like Tencent. It is not just like the Facebook app. It's not just like the Instagram app. They acquired the Instagram app. And if you look into Tencent, WeChat founder was acquired by Tencent years ago. It's not really they build everything homebrew. They do a lot of investment, and just like Facebook do a lot of investment. They have a home market for Facebook. It's like the US. They're listed in the US, and they have the home market, the US market. Like Tencent is the Chinese market. But for us, we believe our homeland is cyberspace. So our home market is not any nation state. It's not ever emerged yet. It's an emerging state that's going to come true in a few years. That's something we want to build. And I respect a lot of these Web 2, Web 1, or even traditional founders. So I read all these stories. I think about what we can do to make it better. We start from a single product, just like Facebook start with Facebook, right? And Tencent start with QQ, the chat app. We start with a single software. We think, okay, maybe people want to do something on top of Twitter because everyone left Twitter as a decentralized, as an app that potentially can be decentralized. So we start something on top of Twitter through a browser extension, and we add more and more functionality over the years. Then we realize we need to invest our friends because there's no one investing in decentralized social network back in the days. Even right now, there's not much funds doing that. So we start to raise money for the funds. We start to have different vehicles. We can do merge and acquisition. We can do investment. We can do donations. We also realize that the crypto people and non-crypto people, they don't talk to each other. So if you look into decentralized social network entertainment, there's already some technology out there. There's Mastodon, right? There's other decentralized technology, but just crypto people don't ever talk to them. So even though we are more crypto related, but we also have traditional open source that we provide financial support, non-profit financial support, and also non-profit financial support to academic organizations like my school. I dropped off from UFI, so University of Illinois. We did some donation. Shanghai Jiao University, Hong Kong University of Technology, and all these nonprofit organizations and academics. So we do a lot of these as well. And eventually, I think we need to be very patient. We need to build different products. We need to invest different companies. We need to put them together, and eventually create something like a decentralized Tencent, like decentralized Facebook, but without a nation state, without a real nation state as a home market, and the cyberspace it is the home market, without a place that you trade registered in a country, without like New York Stock Exchange, Hong Kong Stock Exchange. It could be decentralized exchange. That's an end goal, and we also witnessed many success happening in our industry. So we're really glad that there's DEX today, right? There, back in the days in 2016, 2017, there's not too much to do. So yeah, that's the end goal of Mass Network. We start from one single product. We learn what happened in the past, in the media, in the social network, in the entertainment industry. We use their methodology, but we aim for decentralization goal. Yeah.
So in terms of thanks for that. I mean, I agree with you. I think it is really important that we do have all aspects that Web 2 have offered us from a social network perspective. We need to actually look at how do we make it work within the decentralized space. And I love the fact that you perceive this thing as, it can't be a nation state thing. It's got to be completely. I know that this word's been used a lot, but it's a metaverse thing, right? Even though it isn't, but you need to be kind of like divorced from that, and you need to function accordingly. Question that I have for you around obviously attracting the user base, because if you don't have the user base, then you can't obviously drive the product itself, and then you can't create revenue from that. How do you as Mask Network plan to attract? What has been the strategy for you guys to attract the users into your network?
So think about this way, like I'll just give you a few numbers. I think most of the people in our industry don't know these numbers. Very interestingly, even though they claim they're doing decentralized social network. For example, like Mirror the XYZ, which is a block platform, right? They use Ethereum logging, they use Arweave storage. More than half of the articles are written not in English. They're written either in Chinese or Japanese, Korean. So they're so-called in CJK language. Well, that's one very interesting fact. I think even the team of these block system or decentralized block, they don't really know that. Another number is Vitalik and CZ. They're both quite active on Twitter. Combine their Twitter follower together, I believe it's around 11 million to 12 million users on Twitter, and Twitter claimed to have 400 million to 500 million monthly active users, right? So 11 to 400, well, not a big number, but it's quite significant as well. From these 11 million to 12 million users, Twitter have initiated a functionality called tipping. I believe it's introduced around 2-3 years ago when Jedi was still the CEO, before the Elon thing. I was quite, we're quite close to Twitter. We talk to them a lot, but we're quite also happy with this functionality. We're like, oh, okay, people are gonna just add their Ethereum address for tipping. So ideally there will be better transaction, whatever. But within the 11 to 12 million Twitter users that's already following CZ and Vitalik, my assumption would be these guys are crypto hardcore users. They at least know who to follow, right? They need at least know who's the founder of Ethereum, who's the founder of Binance. Within the 11 million users, only around 150,000 of them, so 150K, around 150K of them have set Twitter tipping with Ethereum or Bitcoin address. And more interestingly, that Bitcoin address have around like 20% to 30% more address than the Ethereum tipping address. So this is a number that a lot of people don't really understand, or they don't really ever think about. Like, first, who's using decentralized social network? Like, why people need decentralized social network? And also, like, if you think about like the adoption rate of wallets, like this is quite low. This is already like people who understand crypto, who understand who's founder of it, who's founder of Ethereum, who's founder of Binance, and they follow them, and they don't really have these things to that. So my understanding is, without a migration tool from Web2 social networks such as Twitter, or even Facebook, or even WeChat, or even like Line in Japan, Kakao in Korea, without a migration tool that is robust enough to fight back to those conglomerates, to fight back to those big companies, there's no way that decentralized social network or crypto decentralized social network will ever exceed 1 to 2 million users. There's no way, because the Twitter tipping number already showed that even within the Vitalik CZ fans, it's only like 500K, right? 150K users. And all these pure crypto social network number have, I think, have proved we are right. We are small investor of many social networks. We are investor of Lens. We are investor of Orb, which is one of the biggest client of Lens social network. We also know what's going on with Forecaster. We are building our own version of compatible client, compatible with both Lens, Forecaster, and Twitter. And we know they have both around 300K users. This is exactly the number of Twitter CZVB fans, because you put Bitcoin and ETF together, that's around 300K, right? That's exactly the number. And the only thing exceed that number, the only so-called social network exceed that number is Friendtech, right? Friendtech.
Yes.
And there's a lot of innovation in Friendtech as well. They use MPC wallet, they use like PWA, Progress Web App, but again, like PWA is an ancient technology. If you ever care about open source, if you know like what's going on with Tim Berners-Lee, you should know PWA for years. And the first 300K users of Friendtech is likely real people. But right now they claim to have around 900K to 1 million users, right? 1.1 million users. These are not real people because we are really patient enough to dig into what's going on with these wallets, what's going on with these Twitter handles, how long they're registered, right? If you really look into that, you'll figure out a lot of these accounts have not, don't have a history for over 1 year. And Twitter exists almost for 20 years, right? If you have a Twitter account less than 1 year, you either live in places like China that don't have access to Twitter very easily, or you're just farming, right? So my opinion
Yeah.
is like using wallet as an entry point for decentralized social network is pretty hard. It's not really yet. So when we realized this thing back in 2017 and 2018, we decided to do the other way around. We decided to think about, okay, what if we can migrate user directly from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, like WeChat, Line, Kakao, and it seems like Twitter is the most friendly platform, even though under right now on the Elon's role, they don't really fully close the API. There's a lot of things you can do, and they are quite related with many standards. Like Blue Sky was spin off from Twitter, right? And Jack was still involved in the Nostr, the Bitcoin social protocol. So we started building many things for different purpose. We are involved in Mastodon because we respect their early pioneers. They are not really crypto. They're not really decentralized enough, but Federation is good enough. So we donate to them. We donate to Mastodon's foundations for years, and we donate our manpower to build the iOS app for them. We reach out to those people who need help for running Mastodon. That time, several Japanese big instance nodes of Mastodon network is on the edge of bankruptcy. So we acquired them. We acquired around 3 of the biggest Mastodon node, and we have independent team that run it without worrying about our rule of censorship. They just keep they keep the original policy ongoing. When we realize there's something interesting like Lens, we reach out to become a shareholder. When we realize there's more interesting stuff like Orb or like, Forecast have the frame, there's more interesting stuff like this. We, try to raise more money for our balance sheet and for our fund vehicles to able to invest more. There's a lot of people also need help. They are not doing something wrong, just like not lucky, and their company is on the edge of bankruptcy, or they're just not lucky with the bear market. So we also step in to do more acquisitions if necessary. My answer of how can we get more users will be, this is not just like one single magic trick, put the wallet there, no, or put NFT there. The Instagram integration of NFT is killed by Instagram. It's killed by Facebook. Why? Because only attract like 300K, 400K user at most. And again, I already told you that the Twitter tipping only attracts 300K, 200K, and half of them are more Bitcoin. So we are putting systematic effort, not only say, oh, this is a magic crypto network with Vitalik on that, tweeting every day. This is the, like this, the celebrities. We're putting systematic effort, investing not only wallet, but also VK chain, layer 2, privacy solution, better consumer apps, better infra, better sense. We need to put like systematic effort to make this thing work, and then eventually building very robust tool that able to migrate the user from the Web 2 to Web 3. And then I think the other side, we need to do lobby. We need to do something that, like it's it's sad to say, but back in the last cycle, like SBF actually did quite a good lobby.
Yeah.
Regardless of the result, but he know the playbook. But we have to, because I'm Chinese, I'll be very frankly, like I was born in Shanghai, I was born in China, right? So a lot of people are gonna worry about, dude, this is like the Chinese spy. I have to tell people I don't really stand aside. I want to be without the nation state identity. I want to be in cyberspace, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted you to do a lot of lobby that made what eventually the outcome will be. Okay, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on WeChat, you're on TikTok, and then we need to have people support us using like GDPR, CCPA. There'll be one click button that okay, click this button, or your data gonna be export through the GDPR compatible format or CCPA compatible format in your email or whatever, and then we can able to convert that thing into a decentralized database that's represent or a centralized social network, and then need to be decentralized storage layer, decentralized database layer, decentralized SaaS, other things. So we either build them or we invest them or we acquire them or we incubate them. So that's what we believe. The secret sauce. This is not a keyword. It is not like crypto social network. It's not like decentralization federation. The user don't care, but we need to educate them and we need to put systematic effort to be open to every solution. So that's why we are involved in Nostr. We have a sub company only doing Nostr related stuff. We're open with Lightning Network or the Bitcoin things, even though personally I don't think some of them are working, but we love to try. We are donating and investing in federation networks, Fediverse. We are open to Lens for Caster and other Ethereum address related social network. Well, maybe Solana gonna have something fun. We are open to that as well. We also like dig into the history of those failed ones. Like Keybase is a failed one, right? But it's have valuable data out there, so we just dig into the history and learn from the past. And we build this mothership of all the decentralized entertainment and social network. So that's how we build a mass network. Not by just building one thing. We build many things. We help many things, and we let them talk to each other. We let them compete. We let them fight each other. But our goal is the same: the greater good of decentralized social network. Yeah. So that's
awesome.
my answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer because it's essentially opened a whole lot of questions for me around the product itself. So obviously being socially conscious, finding the right avenues to obviously speak to the importance of decentralization, whether it's through universities, whether it's through just general social awareness. I get that. But now how do you take the product itself that is Mask Network and incorporate it into all of these different ecosystems and all of these different ideas across the decentralized space? Is it effectively a plug and play for each ecosystem, or is the expectation from your side to create what is going to be conducive for these users and then get them to come to you, or you going to go to them?
I think we are open to both. Like back in the very early days when we started in 2017, 2018, we just built a very simple plugin on top of Twitter, because I think people are gonna love to have crypto related features on Twitter. Like crypto related are not only cryptocurrency related, but cryptographic related, right? You want to encrypt your tweets, and only the friends can see that. You want to make it like a paywall, like pay me 10 USDT, you can see my content. Then the content should be multimedia. So we need to talk to IPFS, we need to talk to Filecoin, we need to talk to Arby, we need to talk to every provider in the world. Then you need to think about, okay, what if this guy have multiple Twitter account, or this guy have a Facebook account, or this guy have a WeChat account? Then you need DIDs, right? Then you think about, okay, well, we got so many DIDs, you need search engine. Then we invest in search engines. So it starts from very single perspective, like what if Twitter can be decentralized? What if Facebook can be decentralized? What's the functionalities that user gonna love to have? Well, tipping, like investing, follow copy trading, showcase NFT. So we did all these things through the extension, the Chrome system, because at that time most of the OGs are using MetaMask on the browser extension. They don't use wallet on the phone, right? So we use that as the first stage. Then now, like people are moving to the phone, like the Web2 time, like the crypto OGs and new crypto people are more mobile native. and they're thinking about the better solutions to connect to wallets, the better solutions to multi-chain world. So we are building another app, Firefly, which is all-in-one mobile social network, firefly.land or firefly.max.social. So you don't need to remember your keys. You can use your Twitter, and they're going to be automatically compatible with your Lens forecaster, and eventually master everything. And we know there's Bitcoin maxi people out there. There's Bitcoin community, so that's why we have a sub company only dedicated to doing that. So that's something, a new product going to come out. We call it Master. It's called Master, so Master, MASTR. Haven't released yet. Then again, back to the DID. There's so many DIDs out there. One real people like me, like Suji, can have 10 different social accounts and 20 different key from different perspective. Like I can have Solana key, Bitcoin key, Ethereum key, right? It needs to be a system that privacy preserving, but also able to identify who am I and who's my friend if I want to open that, or encrypt my friend list. So we have this next ID. And in order to showcase how we can do, we have a flagship app for that. It's called Web3.bio. Web3.bio, very easy. You can search sujiyan.eth or vitalik.eth. You can able to find all my social networks in one place, like Reddit, GitHub, Twitter, Facebook. So that's something we're building over the years. And as I said, we encounter many problems, right? So when we encounter storage problems, we were talking to Filecoin and Arweave, and eventually they both become our shareholder. They use their token to swap our token holders. Then we realize there's more problem with the integration. Like, oh my God, there's so many different layers of storage, right? I respect both all these social and storage layer, but then you need to have some SQL solution, non-SQL solution, GraphDB solution, all these things together. So we invest in something like ArweaveDB, and we realize there's also more things we need to do with the integration of those file systems. So we invest in the Fileverse. With more and more investment, we realize, okay, our balance sheet is big, but it's not big enough for these, right? So we talk to people who understand the situation, who we raise a fund much more dedicated to invest in these kind of ecosystems. And since we are the largest LP ourselves, so we are more flexible with the life cycles. And then, over the years, we realize, oh, okay, there's other players, there's other true believers of decentralization in this community, and some of them are venture capitalists, right? I'm not saying something that's a good thing or bad thing, but it's just like their job is VC or their job is financial investors. So in order to work with them, so we become the LPs of them. We invest in their funds, and we also learn from them. Like, okay, maybe something already proved that that's not working. We just don't know it, so we learn from them. And our product just evolve and getting better and better. I believe around like last week, 10 days ago, like Vitalik was publicly tweeting using Firefly as our new flagship app. You can check on the Lens protocol, like HeyDucksYD. Actually, he's tweeting use Firefly. He's posting on Twitter and Forecaster using our app as well. He mentioned that alternative clients is important, right? So I think not only alternative clients, but alternative solutions are important, and a neutral standpoint is important. And we don't pick a side. We just think, okay, whoever wins, whoever become big one, we don't care. We just care about how user can come here. So that's how we approach it, and that's how we do it. It's more about a long-term, genuine, systematic way to fix all these problems. And for now, I'd say we just at the beginning. Those pure crypto social network, none of them have more than 500,000 users. The only exception will be like Frentech, and as I mentioned, we dig into the Twitter accounts and realize a lot of them are just bots. In order to tell difference between bots and humans, you need something like DID solution, right? You probably need a better version of WorldCoin, and we're looking for a better version of WorldCoin. We invest in something maybe going to help WorldCoin as well. So yeah, that's our approach. It's going to be long-term build and solve problems, encounter problems, solve more problems, and put everything together. That's like the Steve Jobs speech back in the days. Like he said, the magic is in this process. This process is the magic sauce. There's no other magic sauce. Like crypto is not a
Yeah.
magic sauce. Privacy is not. Encryption is not. Token might be a very strong magic sauce, but you have to put them together. That's our approach. Yeah.
So I mean, if I was Twitter right now, and clearly you are in discussions with them around a whole lot of stuff, but if Twitter tomorrow wanted to go completely decentralized, what does that practically look like? I mean, I know that it's a big question, but as simple as you can, how does something like Twitter become decentralized?
Yeah, I mean, there's many level of decentralization, right? If you know, like
Yeah.
Thread, Facebook Thread is using they're basically forking Mastodon and activity path protocols, which Zuckerberg is posting a lot lately. They say, hey, we support the Fediverse. That is some kind of decentralization. It's different nodes, different servers, but it's not saying there's no censorship. The censorship go back to the server owner. So you have many small kings, just like the European federalisms, from a big king, a big empire, to many small kings. It is slightly getting better because these small kings might have better ruling systems, so you can migrate. So if you don't like this country, you can migrate to another country. If you don't like this system, you can go to people with place with selections, right? With selection system with its own governance systems, and in fact, one of the most early, or one of the most early political system with election was you can date back to the medieval Europe. All these city states, they have these kind of system back in the days. So yeah, so that's kind of decentralization we already have. There's also, like pure decentralization use crypto social network, where a lot of people are trying to use like cryptographic key, Ethereum key,
Yeah.
Bitcoin key, like Nostr, and platform decentralization storage. What fairly P2P or with a universal backend on chain. Then the problem will be like, how largely can the chain be decentralized? How largely can the chains be penetrated by those big companies or government? So, for example, Lens is using Polygon, right? Polygon is cool. It is very decentralized and respect the team a lot. But then again, the RPCs are not decentralized. RPCs is the endpoint. If you want to talk to the chain, you have to go through these RPCs. If you have a firewall system like China and Russia have today, then you can just kill the RPCs instantly. You have to decentralize these RPC systems. You have to decentralize these layers, and like Optimism and all these like OP chain, super chain is not solving this problem, right? We need to have decentralized VPNs. So we're trying to look into and study more about this part as well. Then okay, for Castor claim they're sufficient decentralized social network. Again, it's not because they're on the App Store, right? And they have some private APIs not open to all the other developers. If you really look into other clients, other apps, they don't have the same API as Vercaster claims the official API has. And the official API and the official app can be removed by App Store and Google Play anytime if they just don't happy. So again, this is a long-term process, and we're just talking to everyone in the industry. We're learning to everyone in this industry. So for something as big as Twitter, you mentioned, like if they want to go decentralization, they have to go through a step-by-step process. First, those who know how to use cryptographic key, those who understand how to use it, they might able to have different layer of storage, different layer of backup. So you still communicate, use the server, but you have a backup that's you can own using your cryptographic key. Then you might have different communication channels on top of it. Then you might have different financial layer on top of it. You may just transfer money or tip on top of it. Then you completely decentralize it, and then you need to put a lot of lobbyist effort, right? I actually doubt whether Elon Musk can do it because he's other companies, SpaceX and Starlink is too related with the United States. I respect him, but I don't think this is very easy to do. I think it's probably the toughest challenge you're gonna face. It's the same thing applied for Facebook. So that's why I think maybe we cannot save them, but we can convert these users through our migration tools. Not only one, but many. not only one layer, but many. Just like DeFi have Legos, like DeFi have so many projects, they eventually become a Lego that make the government and regulators so painful to regulate, and they actually have some freedoms. I think, social networks, entertainment networks need to have much more complicated Legos, because most of the governments care more about what people are saying than care more of what people are buying. This is my
Yeah.
opinion. And we probably end up to have a lot of much more complicated networks and structures and Legos. Our job is to put them together one by one, and then eventually
Yeah.
user can just, one click, no brainer. Your Facebook data or Twitter data are going to go to Web3, yeah, or whatever terminology, Web5 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting because it's not as like anything, it's not a straight line, but I think even particularly with this, it's even more complicated, and there's a lot of moving parts, and because we have kind of these legacy systems that obviously have taken a long time to build, you essentially have to do the same for
Mhm.
crypto and decentralization. And it's really interesting that you guys have approached it from a top down and from a down up perspective. I mean, it
Yes.
seems like there is a consciousness around that. Yeah.
One very interesting example I would like to mention today is one of the company we invested. We're still helping them. It's called Cent. It's called Valuable. Well, probably new crypto guy don't really remember, or new decentralized social guy don't really remember.
Yeah.
But sort of like 3 years ago, when NFT was still on the hype, right? And then one day Jedi just suddenly start to convert his first tweet as NFT
Yeah.
through this valuable platform, and we are one of the shareholders.
Yeah.
We're still talking to them a lot. Like, I think you can just convert one guy like Jack or Elon to just say, "Hey, dude, my tweet is NFT. I can promise you this is the original version." And then you can forget the Twitter server, you can forget the centralized API, because the user claim this is the authentic one, right? So that's a very interesting functionality, but it's not really working very well after the hype. But we just see the potentials. So probably we're gonna have more things like this. And even frontend also like able to link the data between the identities and the address, the wallet address.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are interesting applications that you're able to let the users, let the individualism, let the individuals of the platforms deplatform themselves and find independence. Like just like Jack say, hey, okay, he was the CEO of Twitter. He was like, okay, I can do that, regardless whether he's CEO or not. Right? You can do that. And I think one day we're gonna see more and more example of this. And then on the other side, there'll be more and more decentralized crypto network. We can let them to migrate in. There will be more and more decentralized, whatever, Bitcoin, Ethereum networks. They're gonna have financial incentive. So we put them together. And then we need to have other better user experience wallet, all these things together. So yeah, we are just doing all these things together.
I mean, that is the risk of setting up a network as opposed to just one product that obviously can do a couple of things. You've decided to go the hard road and do the whole network thing, which, I mean, I suppose is the only way to do it. I mean, is there a conversation around kind of like having your own blockchain and facilitating kind of like an interoperability functionality across other blockchains? I mean, how do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think eventually all the apps gonna have app chains. We are looking into solutions to help do our own app chain as well. But we are also trying to be neutral and to look into more compatibilities. That no matter which asset you have on whatever chain, we're gonna able to help
Yeah.
you to migrate to here. So in order to achieve that, we also invest in helping bridges. There's secure bridge, relatively centralized bridge, leaky bridge, or different bridges. We don't know which one going to win, but we certainly know that centralized one probably not going to survive too long, right? So we're helping them as well. So my opinion will be, I think the financial revolution of crypto is almost there. It's almost finished. you already see ETFs, and today Hong Kong passed the ETF not only for Bitcoin but also for Ethereum. I think the
Ethereum,
US one the US one gonna coming very 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 soon, just a few months or 1 or 2 years, right? I think we are almost at a turning point that crypto is not only for financial revolutions but also for day-to-day revolutions, and these revolutions going to have huge impact for nation state, for the governance system we have, and eventually going to get independence from all these sovereign states, from all these countries. And we are in this process to help transmitting the social networks and entertainment networks. The same people read every day. The same people post every day. The joyfulness you enjoy every day. So that's our mission, and we are just stand neutral. That okay, no matter which chain, which platform out there, we support where we integrate. I don't think there's a necessity of competition. Again, the largest so-called decentralized social network for now it is the using activity path is the Fediverse, right? If you count non-thread users around 20 to 30 million, and unfortunately a lot of them are Trump fans on on Truth Social, right? If you count the users from Thread, that these guys are just migrate from Instagram, and again they don't really have their own control, right?
yeah.
So it's just too early to think about this. To think about competitions. So we are long term. We'll play the game that gonna last for the next few decades. And I think we are just quite lucky that we are one of the first players. We are in this position that not only can provide technology, can provide understanding, also can provide capital, can provide even help these projects to do lobby together. Yeah, so that's the advantage. But I think it'll come very soon. Yeah, I mean, try our new app that like Vitaly is using that to posting every day, like firefly.mass.social, firefly.land. Try a new app, and no matter which chain you prefer or which decentralized social network you prefer, we're gonna integrate. We're gonna be compatible.
So I'm definitely going to do that after this call. So you have my word, I will. I never realized the extent of the social consciousness that you, as a network and as a protocol, carry with you. I mean, I'm completely blown away. I mean, there's it's not just about making money. It's not just about the money side of this. It's actually a bigger and almost more important aspect to what it is that you guys are building, and clearly the vision that you have in this process. I think it's hugely necessary, and it'll be really interesting to see how, first of all, people accept it beyond that 300 or the 200,000, like you said, that tipping point. And I think we need it. I think it's really important that there is that capability and the freedom for people to be able to express themselves, and you obviously are providing them that opportunity. I think your biggest challenge is going to be, how do you create the awareness and convince people that this is actually something that is better for them and better for their experience?
Yeah, we're long term. I think I was joking to my friend that we are building the foundation, like not the Bitcoin foundation, Ethereum foundation, but the foundation from the sci fabric, like the foundation that prevent human destroy themselves from internet,
Yeah.
and to build a better internet from the ashes. Yeah, but I'm really optimistic. I think we're just very close to it. Another few years, and we
Yeah, I
have
mean,
yeah.
I love the fact that you are seeing the greater vision around, obviously, doing the non-profit stuff and funding universities and creating the awareness from essentially the grassroots level. A lot of even companies, it doesn't matter what you call the entities that are obviously traveling through the space. I find that very interesting, by the way. Like, companies, protocols, projects, what do you call them? But that's obviously another discussion. But I think it's really important that there is awareness created, and clearly you guys are finding where those pressure points are, you're saying, listen, it's not about the money, it's about the education. If we do the education, we'll create the belief system and the understanding, and the business side of it will land up happening in 10 years, 20 years, or however long it takes. I mean, that is your strategy, right?
Yeah, sure. That's our strategy.
Great. I think this is a good time to wrap it up. It's been really fascinating, and more importantly, it's been hugely educational to get an insight into what it is that you guys are doing, and I think more importantly, the vision, and something that I do see as being a greater good. And I mean, clearly, you guys have demonstrated that you launched in the last bull or thereabouts. You survived the bear. You continue doing what you're doing, and it's kind of like business as usual. I mean, I bet you guys just didn't even notice there was a bear. You just got on with it. Cool, Suji. It's been
Sure.
an absolute pleasure to chat to you.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I know that you're on your way to Dubai for conference. I hope it's a good one. I hope you have a productive trip. And it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and to chat to you this morning. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, everyone. It was great to have you on, and please like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
All right, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on for next time. See ya.